afternoon from Hampden Park, where we're less than 20 minutes away from kick-off time and the first major cup final of the new season. Aberdeen against Dundee for the Coca-Cola Cup. One of the leading lights of the Premier Division against one of the sides challenging for promotion from the first. And if that sounds like a familiar scenario, well, it should, because 12 months ago, in almost identical circumstances, Raith Rovers sprang one of the great upsets in Scottish football in recent years, went on to win the trophy, to win promotion, and to embark on the great European adventure, which took them all the way to the Olympic Stadium in Munich. So that's what's at stake this afternoon. Aberdeen against Dundee, the two clubs from the northeast, and the whole match is live for you, with kick-off, as I say, at 3:15. Now, one of the other things which we should perhaps relish this afternoon is a last chance to see the famous old South Stand here at Hampden. It's been here since 1903. It'll come down to make way for the stadium redevelopment early in the new year. And for me, one of the great sadnesses is that familiar red brick facade will disappear. The Hampden version of the Twin Towers will go, one of the great enduring images of the Scottish game. So where we're sitting today will exist no longer after the beginning of the year. But it's all about Aberdeen against Dundee. I'm delighted to say that with me in our Hampden studio are Scottish captains past and present, Willie Miller and Gary McAllister. Willie, let's begin right away with the team news, and the disappointing news for Aberdeen fans. Scott Booth is out. Now, they kept that one quiet.
Yeah, they certainly did keep it quiet. It came as a particular shock. But it's going to be a blow to Aberdeen. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Scott has been the first choice so far this season. He has been dogged with injuries over his career. And once again, that jinx has struck, and it couldn't be at a more important time for Aberdeen and for Scott. So it is a bad blow to Aberdeen.
Gary, you've obviously had a good chance to see Scott close up playing for Scotland recently. I wonder if Dundee will perhaps have to rethink their tactical plan as well.
Well, I think they'll be pleased with the fact that Scott Booth isn't playing, because I think his pace would have worried them. You know, I think if there is a weakness in the Dundee side, there is a little bit of lack of pace at the back. So the fact that Scott's not playing, I think they'll be pleased with that.
Everybody's been saying, we've been saying it all week, Willie, it's going to be an open final, there's going to be goals. Do you go along with that?
Well, we're hoping that's going to be the case. And certainly if you look back on the record in the competition, both teams have scored goals, so we should be expecting a cup final that we're going to see goals in. But you never know in cup finals. Cup finals are one-off. We've saw so many disappointing cup finals, but today I've got a wee feeling that we're going to see a good one.
Gary, we mentioned the Raith Rovers win a year ago, which in a way is an inspiration to Dundee, but maybe also is not such a good thing, because Aberdeen will want to guard against that.
Yeah, they'll only look to last year's final to see that the team from a lower division can manage to get a result. You know, and as it's been said earlier, the incentives of a European UEFA Cup place next year, and there's a lot to play for here today.
How do you see the game going this afternoon? Would you go along with Aberdeen as favourites?
I would say they're favourites, yeah. Just purely because they've got players who have played at Hampden more than the Dundee players. There's 4 or 5 international players on their side. But I see it as an open game. There's a lot of players that play, are positive players that like to go forward. You know, Jess and Boo, Jess, Shearer, Joe Miller, Neil McCann, Vykhorst, I don't know, is that how you pronounce it? He gets his goals and gets forward very well. So it'll be a big open game, I think.
Yeah. How do you see Dundee playing it, Willie? Will they be fairly cagey early on, or will they just have a go from the start?
Well, it is a big prize. I don't think they'll have a real go early on. I think they want to get settled into it. It is a big occasion, and it depends how the Dundee team are going to handle it. They don't have a lot of players that have been here before, if they have any. But it's going to be a game where there is a big prize, and they have got a chance of winning this cup final. So I don't think they're going to throw caution to the wind. I think they want to get bedded in, hopefully get over the first 10-15 minutes, keeping it level, and then look to open up a wee bit after that.
Yeah, and there's also in the wide open spaces of Hampden, it's the kind of stage where a Neil McCann or a Jim Hamilton could cause the Aberdeen defence a lot of problems.
Oh yeah, the Aberdeen defence like to push out. They like to get up to the halfway line as quickly as possible. But Dundee have got a bit of pace up front, so they're going to have to watch that. And anything over the top could cause them a bit of problem if they're not communicating properly. So yeah, it's an open game. Dundee certainly have got players that can cause Aberdeen problems, but Aberdeen have got players that can cause Dundee problems as well.
Gary, I know that you obviously keep a very close eye on Scottish football. Have you had much of a chance to see Dundee this season?
I've followed this tournament along the ties, and I've seen Dundee a few times. You know, and they've managed to score a lot of goals getting near Hampden. And as Willie says, I think the pace of Neil McCann could be important to them, especially if Aberdeen try to squeeze the play. I think the team that gets their passing going and gets settled in quickly, that'll be the team that will get the initiative, and I can see that being Aberdeen.
Yeah. Jim Duffy, of course, is one of the great figures of the Scottish game. He's been playing for about 20 years now, and most of that with a dodgy knee, it seems. He's the old head, but also maybe the legs might let him down this afternoon. Is that a fear, do you think?
No, I don't think he's a player who's used his pace or lack of pace during his career. He's a player who's always sat back there and used his brain and sat and watched things. So he'll be there as a calming influence, and he'll try and snuff out Aberdeen's attacks just by his brain.
Tell you, one of the things that struck us with all the wonderful pre-match entertainment that's laid on, Willie, big country have been playing, there's hardly been room for the players to warm up, actually.
That's right, yeah, we're just talking about it early, and they've got so many advertising canvases on the park and the pipe band, of course, and then the group playing too, that I was wondering where the lads were going to warm up, but they seem to have managed it all right. It's beginning to clear a wee bit now, so they're getting, you know, the shots in it going, they're getting a bit more of the pitch to warm up, and that's what we're here to do, aren't we? I mean, the teams are here to warm up, so we're going to be entertained, albeit you've got to be entertained beforehand.
Obviously, Roy Aitken and Jim Duffy have done wonderfully well to get their teams to this stage. The interesting thing is they were both defenders, both very hard, uncompromising players, and yet they produced two teams that like to play football.
Yeah, that's sometimes the case. You know, you always, players that go into management, they seem to change quite quickly when their thoughts change when they go into management. But it doesn't surprise me that both of these guys want to play good, attractive football.
And Big Roy's obviously done very well at Pittodrie, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he played at a club where the traditions was to go forward. You know, Glasgow Celtic, they never had a defensive thought ever, I don't think. And he was very successful in a team that only could play going forward.
How do you see it then, William? Let's put you on the spot a little bit. Are you going for your old club to win this afternoon?
I'm going from old club to win, yeah. I think they've got better players over the piece. No disrespect to Dundee. They've got players that I feel will handle the occasion better, and I know it's okay for Jim Duffy to say that his young players have handled it well so far, but it's a different occasion out there. It's a cup final. The lead up to the cup final is completely different. They'll have telephone calls, their friends will be on for tickets, their mother, father will be sitting in the stand. They've got to handle that. I don't think they'll handle it as well as Aberdeen will.
Right. Well, would you go along with that?
They may use their inexperience to their advantage. You know, that they might come out here and play with no fear, but you know, they might not realise the consequences of losing. Whereas Aberdeen are a big club and they're expected to win trophies, Dundee are not. So that, you know, that inexperience and playing with no fear might be an advantage to Dundee.
All right, well, we'll find out very shortly, but let's go out and relish some of this pre-match atmosphere here at Hampden. We're going to have a very special version of Flower of Scotland very shortly. Big country, as I mentioned earlier, I've been playing already for the fans here, and they are going to join with the massed pipes and drums for that very special Flower of Scotland this afternoon. But I must say Hampden does look very well indeed. It's a capacity crowd this afternoon, that capacity much reduced from years gone by, of course. Only something like 37,000 here this afternoon, but both sets of fans are in splendid voice. It's a total sellout. We obviously sympathise with those few supporters, we hear it is relatively few, whose tickets sadly have been stuck in the post and are perhaps watching the game this afternoon rather than having made it to Hampden. So they certainly have our sympathies, but let's hope that we have a good game for them to enjoy this afternoon. Let's enjoy Big Country and the pipes and drums and Flower of Scotland. Well, traditionally the most stirring version of Flower of Scotland is usually held at Murrayfield before rugby internationals, but I think the crowd here at Hampden this afternoon acquitted themselves very well indeed. Great throw for big country, I'm sure, today. Stuart Adamson and the boys playing on the Hampden pitch along with the pipes and drums before the final this afternoon. Well, kick-off time fast approaching, but let's hear from the two managers this afternoon. Hazel Irvine spoke earlier to the managers, and firstly, in fact, to Aberdeen captain Stuart McKimmie.
Stuart, 5 years without a trophy for the Dons, that's too long.
Yes, it is. I think anybody that joins a club wants to win things, and there's been players here of quite a few years now that haven't experienced that. So hopefully today we'll do the business and win the cup.
Have you dreamt about walking up those stairs to collect this cup?
If I really thought about that, I wouldn't have slept for the last month. It's in the back of my mind, but it's hopefully something I'll be doing in the future.
Neil, you've just walked out of the tunnel at Hampden for the first time in your life. What does it feel like?
Fantastic, Hazel. Really looking forward to it. I can't wait for the game to start, really. And the reception we got coming off the bus was unbelievable. So it was...
Now, obviously, you've played open, attractive football for the last few months. Indeed, you've only failed to score in a game once. Do you anticipate a really open game here?
Definitely. Aberdeen love to play football, and so do we. I think it's going to be a very open game, and hopefully the fans will get their money's worth with a few goals.
Concerned, Roy, about the form leading up to this final?
No, I think our form's been fairly good. I mean, our form in the cup competition already against Rangers and Motherwell in particular has been outstanding, so I'm looking for that sort of performance again today.
Is it? Can you confirm that Duncan Shearer's going to start today and Scott Booth will miss out?
I can confirm that Scott Booth will miss out. As far as anything else is concerned, just wait to see at 3:15.
Now, we know what happened to Celtic last year against Wraith Rovers. Have you actually thought about that? Is there any danger of that being repeated in your mind?
As I say, I don't look back. It's all about what we do today, and at our best, we're as good as any team in the country. We've proved that this season. And a chance to show it today again. 3:15 is a big stage for the players, a great platform, and we're all looking forward to it.
Well, you've certainly come into this final in great form. You're going to play the same team as last week, yeah?
Yeah, the same team we'll be playing as against Dundee United last week. I mean, we played well for a part of the game, and with a little sticky spell in the game, but I felt like the boys deserved to win again, so we'll hopefully do the same again today.
Well, I know it's a special occasion because the chairman's here, Mr. Dixon.
Yeah, that's right. I arrived on share, Gabriel looking in the back, so it'll be a surprise for him to see Hampden, I think, with so many Dundee fans here. But the occasion's not about Ron Dixon or Jim Duffy, it's about Dundee Football Club and what it means to supporters, and hopefully we can put on a show for them.
Wish you all the very best today.
Thanks very much.
Yes, Jim Duffy in good form, obviously. Let's hope he carries that on to the match itself this afternoon. Gary, obviously there's a lot of players who'll be hoping to be playing in the European Championship finals next summer involved this afternoon. Ian Jess presumably will be a key man, both for Scotland and for Aberdeen today.
Yeah, he's starting to show this season that he's become a more mature player and starting to establish himself and be a very influential player for Aberdeen. And I think when he's playing well, Aberdeen tend to play well. So maybe today Jim Duffy might be a little tactical surprise in there. That they might go and man mark him.
Ian also, I mean, you know him so well, Willie. He seems the kind of player whose game depends a lot on confidence.
Yeah, he needs the confidence. He has started the season very well, and I would imagine his confidence would be at high. I do agree with Gary that he is a very influential player, and really Dundee has got to do something to make sure that he's not playing. Whether that's man marking or not, I'm not quite too sure whether they'll go to that stretch to do that, but I think they'll be trying to close him down early. If they don't and he gets a grip of the game, then he can be very influential.
OK, thanks very much, Willie. Thanks, Gary. We'll hear your thoughts at half-time, but as kick-off time approaches here at Hampden, let's join our commentary team for this Coca-Cola Cup final. Billy McNeil, and firstly, Jock Brown.
Thank you, Dougie. Yes, terrific atmosphere again. I don't know how many cup finals you have to attend to lose the special atmosphere that's here, because I can tell you that sitting up here, it really is outstanding. And for Billy McNeil, who's played in so many cup finals over many, many years, Billy, still a special day.
Yes, it certainly is, and I think particularly this time, this is when the nerves start to take part, and you're always hoping that by the time you get out in the pitch, everything settles down and you absorb the atmosphere and start to enjoy the occasion, because that's what it's all about.
So these supporters showing their joy at just being here this afternoon for this final, and with great optimism we're in for a treat. Two attack-minded sides, full of goals and not too secure at the back. Aberdeen only have had 2 shutouts in 18 matches, and Dundee have failed to score only once in their matches this season, so goals likely to be here. So the confirmation of the Aberdeen team, there's the lineup. Billy, the formation.
Yeah, I think this is the way Aberdeen have been playing. It's a very progressive lineup. They've got a nice balance on either side. They've got Joe Miller on the right-hand side, able to carry the ball and able to score a goal or two, particularly in important occasions. Young Glass on the other side, excellent.
So Dundee may have one or two surprises, but when they played Dundee United last week, this is how they lined up.
I think there'll be a loose lineup, because I think we might see, as Gary mentioned, I think we might see a little surprise, because I don't see Dundee giving Ian Jess too much room.
So the formations, the teams prepared to enter the arena. So a packed stadium rises to these two teams. They prepare for the pre-match formalities. Stuart McKimmie, the captain there, with the Aberdeen mascot, who is young Joanne Smith, 11-year-old. Paul Bernard arrived recently from Oldham. There he is. John Ingles clearly relaxed there. Stephen Glass, his first major final. Duncan Shearer's been through it all before. Neil Duffy, the number 6, the Dundee captain, and their mascot, 10-year-old Jonathan Irving from Dundee. So a second hand-in occasion for a final this year. Les Mottram from Wilson Town, near fourth, was in charge of the Celtic Airdrie Cup final in May, and he was also the Scottish representative at the World Cup USA 94. Well, you see the confetti there spilling down, and the Aberdeen supporters there in mass, looking to win their first trophy in 5.5 years. It was 1990, a penalty shootout against Celtic in the Scottish Cup final was the last triumph. Dundee, it was even longer, way back in 1973. On that occasion, I think, Billy McNeil was playing for Celtic.
Certainly was, and Dundee on that occasion pulled off a real shot, because we were very much confirmed favourites at that time. But lo and behold, Dundee played very well and took the cup, and deservedly so on that performance.
So young Jonathan Irving comes forward with Neil Duffy, Dundee mascot and captain, come to the centre circle to meet the match official Ross McCluskey, the linesman on the left, Jerry Evans on the right, Les Mottram in the middle. Stuart McKimmie has Joanne Smith, with the 11-year-old mascot beside him. Stuart McKimmie incidentally going for a hat-trick of League Cup wins to match his 3 Scottish Cup wins and Scottish League Championship medals. The supporters had disappointment in 1980 when they lost to Dundee United in the League Cup final. So 15 long years until the journey back to a final. It wasn't even at Hampden that time, it was at Dens Park. So the formalities are over. The 50th League Cup final about to start. Now known universally as the Coca-Cola Cup final. So the players will be relieved to get all this pre-match preparation over and get down to the real business. And for Duncan Shearer, a late inclusion in the side, the Spencer Scott Booth. Aberdeen kick off the Coca-Cola Cup final, and immediately Aberdeen try to put pressure on the Dundee defence, and Dusan Berto turns the ball away from Stephen Glass. 19-year-old Stephen Glass, wide on the left-hand side of the Aberdeen midfield. Kimmy supporting. A very positive start from Aberdeen. Neil Duffy back doing some defensive chores. Joe Miller has started the match on the Aberdeen left. McKimmie, this is Glass. It's very quick indeed. A brilliant ball into the area, well met by Roddy Manley. Shearer. It's a super start for Aberdeen. They've been very progressive, but good defending by Roddy Manley, because that was a real dangerous ball and only a touch was needed there.
There's cross met by Berto. Jess returns it. There's McCann dropping back into central midfield area to defend. It's Grant sending in the long ball. Duncan Shearer causing some problems. There's Duffy, challenged by his former teammate Billy Dodds. So the first bit of play inside the Aberdeen half in the match. 1 minute 20 seconds of Aberdeen attacking so far. John Ingles may give Michael Watt an early touch. Duffy's headed clearance. This is Tosh running into Jess. Good pass from Neil Duffy. Shaw goes wide. The man making the tackle was Liam Jess. Well, adding a new dimension to his play with that clumsy tackle.
Yeah, Ian Jess is in a more defensive role here, but already I think Dundee have picked him out as to be very important, because Neil Duffy is going to mark him closely.
Morten Vikhorst with the free kick. As well, one inside the area by Bernard. Here's Joe Miller, he has Shearer ahead. Good back-tracking work there by McCann. Well, this final starting at a cracking pace. And Michel Pajot's clearance now, he'll have been very well warned by his manager to commit no indiscretion. There is no replacement goalkeeper on the bench for Dundee. Young Barry Thompson, who's their goalkeeper, getting suspended in midweek. There's Jess, a little bit of space to exploit. Movement coming from Bernard. Excellent running by Grant. Dodds at the far post there. Tosh back working hard in defence. Glass. Well, he's such a sweet strike of the ball. That left foot, Stephen Glass. He's already beaten Jim Leighton from long range this season.
He's put himself in an excellent position there. He's sitting on the edge of the box here. The ball's come out, hits it nicely, doesn't get the dip just as he wanted, but that's certainly indication that Aberdeen are up for this game.
Ingles challenging against Jim Hamilton. Here's Tosh, he's very quick, and Stephen Glass matched him there for pace. The corner kick's been given.
Dundee are playing a very open system, and it allows the wide players to get up and support, and I think that's just an effort to get a shot on target there.
Neil McCann with the in-swinger. Dusan Berto offered himself short. And a very good header by Manley. A little bit too far out to test Michael Watt seriously, but confidence derived from winning that so comfortably. Here's Michael Watt, is holding off the challenge of Pierce Nelder, his first choice for Aberdeen. Now McKimmie. There's Glass. Back-tracking play was Tosh. That's still good play by Glass. Now Miller. Jim Duffy's header. McKimmie shot well blocked by Manley. Here's Shaw. Pace of Tosh, so important again. He was caught there by Joe Miller. The free kick's been given. Well, can't understand the complaint.
No, Joe Miller does well in actual fact, because Stuart McKimmie's been taken forward in that last attack, and Joe's backtracking there, but perhaps just a little bit of nudge to ensure he didn't get the break.
It's Berto forward. Gary Smith showing his awareness, letting that run for the goal kick. Formerly with Falkirk. Missed only one match this season. There are 5 ever presents in this Aberdeen side this season. That a mark of their consistency. McKimmie, Ingles, Miller, Dodds and Glass have played in every match. Gary Smith and Ian Jess have missed just one game. There's Manley. Tackled by
Shearer allowing Jess to break. He's very good at this. It's away from Duffy. And Virto did extremely well there. That's very good defending by Virto. So a throw to Dundee, the clearance by John Ingles. Horst, Queen, the offside flag is up against George Shaw. Well, Paul Tosh has such terrific pace on that right-hand side. He gives penetration in that area, but through the middle really is the area where Dundee really want to become involved.
Well, that's right, that's that last move. Dundee clearly offside, but one thing that Aberdeen are doing just now, they're overloading the left-hand side a little bit, and I think it's to try and expose Dundee down this right-hand side. They've got Joe Miller playing there, they've got young Glasson, they've got Stuart McKimmie able to back up any attacks that they have down that side.
Duncan Shearer fouled there by Roddy Manley. Free kick to Aberdeen. McKimmie's involved again. Now Jess looking up for the pass. Ingles doing a bit of pushing. Couldn't get to that without bundling into Neil Duffy. Free kick goes to Dundee. Well, he's a very important role. He's playing directly against Ian Jess, Duffy. So the organiser at the back, Jim Duffy, 36.5 years old. Offside against George Shaw. Interesting ploy though, Billy, to have Joe Miller and Stephen Glass and Stuart McKimmie piling up this left-hand side, making Paul Tosh into right back.
Well, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to create a situation where there's a little bit of an overload there, and obviously Roy believes that early in the game he's going to try and see if he can expose and put Paul Tosh under pressure, because he knows he's good breaking forward and he's going to try and prevent that a little bit. At the same time, he's going to try and get a little bit of progress himself down this left-hand side.
So Virto, like Morten Vikors, their international player. Slovakia, he now represents Virto. Very versatile player, can play central defence, midfield or right back as he's doing now. Dodge of the layoff, there's Jess again. Vikors trying to hold him back. That's good play by Shearer. Now Miller. Good adjustment there, great play by Miller. Wow, playing against a very experienced, wily defender there. Joe Miller showing his vast experience.
He does really well, Joe. He goes one way, he sends the defender the other way, and when he gets into that key position, he leaves the defender for dead there, but when he gets in here, I think he just flaps a little bit, maybe a little unkind bounce, but he had the opportunity really to open up Dundee there.
Yeah, perhaps a bubble there as the ball was struck. Shearer's physique so important in that challenge. Ingles very close to Jim Hamilton there. Now Glass has found space. Running at Dundee at pace, looking for Shearer, caught on his heels. That's Jim Hamilton way back there, deep in defence for Dundee. They want him pushing through the middle beside George Shaw. Jess calling the ball from McKimmie. Headed away by Duffy. I think it was going wide, but Duffy wasn't to know that. There's Gary Smith. It's a careless one, allowing McCann some involvement there. He was called surely by Brian Grant, but a very loose pass that by Gary Smith.
It was a loose pass. It's always dangerous to play a long ball across the front of the opposing team defence, or in this case one of their attackers, but it came to nothing at the end.
Only 2 League Cup finals in history, in the previous 49 have ended goalless. And this certainly doesn't look as though it will, the way the game is being played. The first one was 1947, East Fife against Falkirk, 0-0. And then Dundee United Aberdeen in 1979. Up to a replay. That won't happen this afternoon though, no question of a replay. It'll be finished here and there. Beekhorst hasn't yet been influential in the match. Berto has Tosh ahead. The referee giving nothing there. They saw nothing wrong with McKimmy's challenge, and that appears to be fair enough. Tosh took a bang in the face, bumping into McKimmy. Here's Bernard. Chance to come forward and shoot for goal perhaps. Closed down rapidly by Tommy McQueen. This is Shearer. A long looping cross. Confident play at the back from Berto. And from Tosh. And from Beekhorst. That's asking too much of Shaw. Well, that's one factor, Billy. I can't see Shaw or Hamilton running away from Ingles and Smith.
Well, I think certainly they've got to do that a little bit more to open them up. But one thing that is interesting is that when Dundee get the opportunity to break for, they certainly have got a little bit of pace about the front players, particularly the two wide players. And it'll be interesting to see that how Aberdeen cope with that, because obviously at the minute they want to push forward, they want to get something, but they can't really afford to leave themselves exposed.
Dawes linking with Shearer. There's Duffy again. Essence of calmness at the back. Snapping challenge there by Brian Grant. Frenchman in goal for Dundee. Effervescent character. Ingles with a header. There's Tosh. Here's Jess again, finding space in the middle of the field. Been directed by Shearer to play the ball to Bernard, but tried to play the forward pass. Dodds made the run. Lines and the referee agree. It's a throw to Dundee. John McCormick there at the front, the Dundee assistant manager. Some instructions. Tommy Craig wants it calmed down by Aberdeen. Dusan Berto capable of a long throw. Easily won there by McKimmy. Manley returns it. Tangle there between Glass and Beekhorst. Jess to Dodds. Jess again, the playmaker from midfield. This is Bernard. Joe Miller still hugging this touchline. The nutmeg there in Berto, but couldn't find a way past. Miller wants to debate that with the referee. Joe Miller, a very experienced cup final exponent. This is his 7th in all in his career. Bernard, McKimmy. Here's Miller again. Glass goes ahead of him. Firmly struck again by Miller. There's a shoot inside policy here, I think, for Aberdeen.
Aberdeen they've been very successful down this left-hand side. We see that shot from Joe Miller, but the important thing is that they're posing a question to Paul Tosh all the time. They're saying, are you going to come in here, Mark? If you come in and Mark, we then release Stuart McKimmy. He's then able to go and supply Joe Miller, and at the minute it's working very well for Aberdeen.
Gary Smith's header. There's Dodds overhitting the ball towards Miller. Well, a quarter of an hour gone, and Aberdeen looking very bright and busy, and yet Dundee hanging on well so far. The remarkable thing about Aberdeen is that they've only won one match since beating Rangers in the semi-final. They've had a very strange run since then. Lost to Celtic and Hibs, beat Falkirk, drew with Rangers, and then lost to Raith Rovers. But the cup form has been excellent. Beating St Mirren, Falkirk, Brockville, Motherwell Park, and then Rangers here at Hampden. They earn the place here. Headed by Manley. This is Stuart McKimmie. Looking for Shearer. The former Dundee player, Billy Dodds. Bernard to McKimmie. Jess again dropping off to find space. Well, encouraged perhaps by that incredible goal he scored against Rangers at Ibrox a couple of weeks back. So we'll try to test Michel Pajot once again.
It's an area that must be causing Jim Duffy a bit of concern, because Ian Jess is getting a lot of room there, so is young Glass, and they really aren't picking up the space. And okay, up till now they haven't been able to get a shot to go with their outfield play, but that will surely come.
Pushing by Hamilton on Ingles. The 19-year-old explains himself to the referee. Miller looking for Dodds. Jim Duffy challenging. Cross header, returned by Smith. Good touch there by Hamilton and by Shaw. That's good. Nimble play by George Shaw. Hamilton return pass, beautifully intercepted by Gary Smith. Good defending there. Showing excellent awareness of the build-up and the move. Billy Dodds not very happy with that pass. So Roy Aiken is out there encouraging his team to keep passing the ball. I think that's the message. Bernard in that midfield role against Morten Vikhorst. Now you're seeing Pajot gets terrific distance here with these kickouts. In fact, he checked back in that, otherwise I think he could put it right into the opposing penalty box. Problem with these so far though, well, they haven't been able to get Vikhorst too much involved.
No, I think that area of the pitch at the minute belongs very much to Aberdeen, and really Dundee are trying to stick rigidly to having the four players up front, and I think that's where Aberdeen is scoring, because they're gambling on that a little bit. Joe Miller's been over on this left hand side, and it's principally just to see if they can get a bit of room either for Stephen Glass or for Ian Jess, because once they get it, they've got lots and lots of people to pick out.
Here's Miller on the right this time. Well, he's retained such enthusiasm for the play, Miller. He had a spell in the doldrums, both at Celtic and early at Aberdeen. Let's help here from Bernard. There's Glass. Now McKimmie needs a runner on the left, but Miller's on the other side of the field now. Duncan Shearer trying to glance that towards Dodds. Shearer, a very different kind of striker to Scott Booth up front.
Well, he certainly doesn't have the sharpness and the ability to run in behind defences that Scott Booth does. But what he is good, if you get service inside that box, and really there are a few people better than him in putting it in the net, and obviously Aberdeen are going to bank on that. They're going to bank on getting a bit of outfield play and putting some good supply into that box.
That's Shaw leading the line well. Now Tosh. And the decision goes Dundee's way. I think the referee's right there.
It looked to me very much as, you know, because I think Paul Tosh puts the ball behind him and he's trying to climb all over the player and perhaps just a little bit impetuous.
Well, what a warning from referee Les Mottram. Not his first offence in the match. And Kimmy's free kick. Manley winning that against Dodds. This is Shearer. Very good target man. Now Grant. Too high for Dodds. The kind of ball Duncan Shearer perhaps would have liked to see coming into the box, but he was in the inside right channel. Only one goal he scored this season, and it was an absolute scorcher against Hibs. Jim Leighton in goal. Billy Dodds, though, on the other hand, has scored 7 times, twice in the semi-final against Rangers. Dodds helping it on. Shearer clearly offside. No argument about that. Any of the Aberdeen squad. Well, the Dundee supporters looking a little bit concerned at this stage, but they should be happy, I think, that the team has survived the opening quarter. And the Aberdeen supporters concerned perhaps they haven't anything to show for the dominance they've enjoyed. There's Neil Duffy. Good back header there by Grant. 51 years old now, 11 years at Pittodrie. So on from Dodds. Duffy and Shearer together, combined age almost 70. Good play by Bernard, that's Miller looking for Dodds. Good challenge made by Manley. That's good running by Grant, showing his midfield instincts. Shearer against Duffy. There's Miller. Great play there by Shearer going to the byline, using his upper body strength against Jim Duffy. Offside flag up there, halting that move. Michel Pajot not happy with the linesman.
It was an excellent move, a good pass into the box here, and Duncan Shearer stands up well, uses his strength, whips that ball in, and at the end of the day, Joe Miller's not all that far away from opening the scoring for Aberdeen.
There's credit due again here, though, if you watch this, to Roddy Manley, because he made a great clearing header right in the first minute of the match, and he does extremely well here also against Joe Miller. It's very good penalty box defending. Duffy's clearance. Shaw couldn't get away from Smith. Or Forsh rather. Smith beats him to the ball. This is Shearer. Now Grant. Queen's clearance. No one far enough forward for Dundee to trouble Michael Watt. Michael Watt could be feeling the cold this afternoon. So little involved. That's good pressing play by the Dundee front two. Kimmy tidies up. Michael Watt's improved a great deal on the ground with his kicking, his control. There's another chance again to demonstrate that. To make sure that came to no harm. He could have driven it easily against Neil McCann and caused a problem for himself, so it's in the stand. His Beekhorst was spaced for about the first time in the match. Quality of the pass is good. Tosh to Duffy. Gary Smith attacked him very swiftly. Here's Billy Dodds back in his own box. Encouragement now from the Dundee supporters. Unlucky break for Furtog. But a good attack from Dundee, the best of the match so far.
It's a lovely little lay down from Paul Tosh there, and that was not all that far away from getting on the end of it, but it's just an indication that Aberdeen can't afford any complacency at the back.
Gary Smith's clearance. Shearer to Glass. This is Dodds. There's lots of movement over on the far side. Miller's in space. Good ball in and headed away well by Duffy. Grant. Glass has support from McKimmie. Good dummy by Dodds. That's Shearer with a return pass. Duffy turns the ball to safety, but very good play inside the penalty box by Aberdeen. Dodds with a dummy. Duncan Shearer, I think, could actually have controlled that and turned for a shot. He had space for that.
But it's good forward play, isn't it? Look at that. One striker leaves the ball, the other one lets it run through, late in his path, and always a threat when you do things like that.
Joe Miller's corner. And a clear open header there. It was Stuart McKimmie. And really, chances in cup finals don't come much better than that.
it's very slack defending, you've got to say that from Dundee, but Stuart McKimmy's just that little bit unfortunate, can't quite direct it on target. But no, it's right into the heart of that defence, and I'm sure Jim Duffy will be very concerned about that.
McKimmy by no means a prolific goal scorer. Still to open his account for the season. Surely his best chance so far. Oh, a good tackle, I thought, by Berto and Miller, but referee Mottram saw something amiss. Berto caught late there by Glass. The advantage will be applied, but I think Stephen Glass will be in trouble when this move breaks down. Here's Dodds. Now Tosh. Collected here by Gary Smith. The longer the play keeps going, the better it will be for Stephen Glass, I think. He was very late on Dusan Berto. Berto's back at his feet as Glass sends in the cross. Now the referee may take action. Yes, indeed he is. He's calling over Stephen Glass. And I have to say, I can't see any complaint due from Stephen Glass because it was a nasty late tackle. Well, now referee Mottram is booking Dusan Berto.
Yeah, I don't think that Stephen Glass can have any cause for complaint there, because he goes in late, leaves his boot in, and the referee's perfect. But good refereeing to allow the play to go on first of all.
Give me the cross. Tosh back defending. Good corner kick to Aberdeen, and yet there's no trouble for Stephen Glass here. There's going to be trouble over Paul Tosh. Or is it Jim Hamilton? No, it's Jim Hamilton in trouble here, but something he said to the referee. But Dusan Berto was booked in circumstances where Stephen Glass seemed to be the offender.
Yeah, I think he was booked. It may well have been that he said something to the referee, because the play did go on for some considerable time, and I think that's just been a follow-up to that as well.
Well, these bookings could be costly, especially in a match which could go to extra time. Headed away by Hamilton. Here's Glass. Turned away from him by Berto. That really was quite remarkable. I mean, Dusan Berto with a couple of hefty challenges, one of which he was penalised with a free kick, I thought, rather unfortunately, the second of which was no problem at all, and then he was clearly caught late by Glass. Shaw's lay-up, and McKimmy's first to the ball. Well won by Glass for Miller. Too high for Jess. Excellent play by Duffy. McCann to Weghorst. Bernard snapping at his heels. Now Jim Hamilton. Good left foot. Shaw being closed down very rapidly by Smith. Is that ton of pace, Gary Smith, which serves him so well. So, approaching the half-hour mark. It's been fast and furious and never lacking in interest. Still, no breakthrough for either side. Dusan Berto trying to change that with a long throw. Duffy's up. This is McQueen. Trying to involve Neil McCann ahead. There's another problem for Dundee, has been to involve McCann, who hasn't been in the game at all.
No, I think there's a lot of that down to the fact that they haven't really had any control in midfield. They've only fleetingly had the ball, and they tend to try to go forward very quickly. But really, if they can get a bit of control, and they can start introducing Neil McCann, because I think down that left-hand side of this, he could cause a problem or two for Aberdeen. But they certainly need to try and get a grip of the ball.
Miller to Glass. Glass losing his footing there. They tried to judge the ball dropping down, and Berto lets it run for the goal kick. Well, Dusan Berto, an international player for his country, Slovakia. Morten Weghorst, the Danish international. Roddy Manley represented Hong Kong recently.
You don't often get internationals like that in the first division teams, but in fairness to Dundee, they've lived a little bit dangerously. But what they have done, both Roddy Manley and Jim Duffy have some excellent last gasp tackles in and around the heart of that 18-yard line of theirs when things have looked bad for them.
Roddy Manley performing well at the back. He might have to do some more work now as the Aberdeen break with Billy Dodds. That's good play. Miller. Now Jess. Glass takes over. Jess once again stepping away from Weghorst. Millard using Grant behind. Lotto up there with Dodds. Tosh trying to escort the ball to safety. That's good defending. Well, the system employed by Aberdeen has prevented Tosh really troubling Stuart McKimmie in attacking sense. There's Glass again. Oh, misjudged there by Shearer in the air. A chance for Duncan Shearer. It was a bit too high for Duffy. Lack of match practice perhaps for Duncan Shearer. He's been on the bench throughout the season. And Jim Duffy controlling things at the back.
It's a good ball right into the heart of that Dundee defence, and Duncan Shearer really, I think he just gets edged off it. Perhaps good defending by Tommy McQueen there.
There's George Shaw. Clearance again by Gary Smith as Neil Duffy advanced from midfield as he likes to do. Well, last season's Coca-Cola Cup final went to the First Division underdogs, Raith Rovers, wearing just about exactly the same colour as Dundee. And Dundee still very much in this. Neil Duffy's header. And Watt had to take care there. He's dangerous in the box, all right, Duffy. Just dropping under the crossbar for Michael Watt.
It's a good ball into the middle, and Neil Duffy's a real threat when he gets into that box, and Dundee get a bit more of the ball, it could cause problems.
McCann's corner, well taken by Watt. Pat on the head there, one of his teammates in the way past. And a very patient young man, 25 years old tomorrow, Michael Watt, and he's been 8 years at Pittodrie. Only now recognised first choice. Dodds, the layoff, straight to Weghorst. That's McKimmie. Former Dundee player also. Good running by Glass, great ball in! Dodds for Aberdeen! The opening goal for Aberdeen for the semi-final hero Gary Dodds. And the heroics of Michel Pajot, not enough to save Dundee. A great ball forward that by McKimmie. Look at the pace of Glass. He looked up, he saw Shearer who's the target. He couldn't get to it. Pajot got a touch, and Dodds was there for the finish.
It's not surprised it's come down that left-hand side, because Dundee have looked very vulnerable in that area. And a little bit of fortune for Aberdeen there, but good striking because Billy Dodds was in position to put it away. But look at the pace of Stephen Glass there. Terrific ball hooked in the middle. Another deflection there, but you know the goalkeeper's just unfortunate, can't quite collect it. And that's Billy Dodds doing something he enjoys doing.
Oh, Billy Dodds gets goal number 8 of the season and joins Neil McCann as the competition's leading goal scorer. £1,000 to the winner of that little tournament. But for Aberdeen, a precious lead. The noise you hear coming from the Aberdeen supporters. Weghorst playing it wide. Here's McCann. Couldn't find a teammate there. Here's Duncan Shearer, who did so much to trouble Michel Pajot when the cross came in. The throw goes to Aberdeen. Well, I reckon now we're into an absolutely vital phase in the game from the Dundee point of view. They can't afford any lapses in the last 10 minutes of the first half. Here's Jess. Dodds, Jess again. Tackled well by Weghorst. Good play by Ingles and by McKimmie. Here's Glass again, going through that inside left channel. And the great quality of Glass's ability to deliver crosses at pace.
There's the goal again. And the goalkeeper was a little bit unfortunate there because it looks as though he's going to recover it and the ball just knocked off his elbow. Perfectly for Billy Dodds, but perhaps just a little bit unfortunate.
Bernard under pressure from Decost. That's McCann, hustled again by Bernard. Shearer. Grant sees the gap, moves in swiftly. Now Billy Dodds. Grant outside him. The tackle came from McQueen. There's no foul given. The Aberdeen supporter will leave the one. Good defending by Timmy McQueen, the former Aberdeen player. This is McCann against Bernard. Inside is Shaw and Hamilton. McCann again. And shown inside by Grant. By Bernard, rather. Decost did well. The ball was carried over, though. It's a goal kick to Aberdeen, is it? Well, the linesman's flag was up for that, and the referee didn't spot it, so that's why Michael Watt was able to throw the ball out. Is it a case, Billy, for Dundee of hanging on till half-time?
Well, they've got to try and get a grip of the game, but they've really been vulnerable because Stephen Glass has been very impressive. Joe Miller's holding a wide position on the left-hand side when he comes over here, and it's allowing Stephen Glass to break through that position just inside him, between him and Billy Dodds and Duncan Shearer, and he's really created all sorts of difficulties for Dundee. And you know, they look very vulnerable at the minute, Dundee, but I think they've said their only hope is to try and get something back quickly, and they're prepared to push forward and prepared to live dangerously at the back.
An error by Joe Miller. You see his frustration there. Dusan Bertel with the throw. Shaw. Brought down by Smith. Free kick to Dundee. Gary Smith was the culprit.
George Shaw does very well here because he gets away from the defender and he's brought down just when he was getting himself in an interesting position.
Danger here for Aberdeen. Neil Duffy, dangerous. Morton Decost also. Jim Hamilton, 2. That's well won by Michael Watt. Good reaction from Jim Hamilton's effort. Tackle there by Berto, but good work there by Michael Watt.
They indeed do have a threat there, and here it's not all that far away. Jim Hamilton's a little bit unlucky with his effort, but again, good goalkeeping.
Grant to Bernard. Too long for Shearer, surely. Manley did well in the marking role. It's Decost, brought down by Bernard. Well, you'll argue he got there as quickly as he could, I think, Bernard. Decost was in full stride there.
He was breaking forward very well. Good support from the midfield player, but a clear foul, and no doubt the referee was right.
Shearer wanted too long on the ball. McQueen stepped in, but this is Jess now for Aberdeen. This is Miller with a chance for the second. Dundee carved wide open by Ian Jess.
This here is creating all sorts of problems. Joe Miller does really well, turns with the ball there, but not his best foot, and perhaps he'll be disappointed with not hitting the target there, but he does so well in getting himself into that position.
A great chance for Joe Miller, who has found the net on 4 occasions this season. Interesting too to see Stephen Glass is available, so was Duncan Shearer in that move, and Billy Dodds. It was lots of options open there. There goes Tosh. He seemed to realise he couldn't get to that. Well, he's living dangerously there because the referee view could have been more unkind to him here.
He's carried the ball well and he's prepared to go at defence, which you always like to see, but I think he did get tangled up there, but I don't think there was any malice intended, and probably the referee and the linesman were right.
Shearer did well. Here's Miller, dodges through the middle. Support coming rapidly from midfield. Oh, lost his bearings, Joe Miller.
I think Joe was anticipating that support from Stephen Glass. It's been coming all through the first half and it just didn't arrive on that occasion.
Brian Grant left a little option in the end, but to play that long to safety. Here's Weghorst. Quick throw taken by McCann to Hamilton. There's Neil Duffy. Dundee captain. Good running by Shaw. Smith with them all the way though. Very good marking. Gary Smith not too happy about something. I think it's Brian Grant who's the recipient of that volley. There's George Shaw, a willing runner up in front. He's always looking to find gaps in defences. Started his career with St Mirren, then went to Partick Thistle. Right flick on from Shearer. Time here for Manley. Nothing really on though. He's explaining himself. He wanted someone on the touchline to aim for. Just appears to be that little extra edge and quality about Aberdeen. An error there by McQueen. Won the league championship with Aberdeen in 1985 and the Scottish Cup in 1986. Before going to West Ham United. Grant. Jess with Bernard. Once again McKimmie has space because Joe Miller has dragged people towards him on the touchline. McKimmie using him as a decoy. Here's Dodds. McCann very deep here for Dundee. Good change of pace. Well read by Grant. Very well timed tackle. Jess again picking out Glass. Remarkable, I think, Stephen Glass has just appeared on the scene in the last few months. Dundee boy. That's good play by Jess again. Aberdeen controlling the match. Patiently waiting for the opening to appear. Miller retrieves it from Hamilton. This is Bernard, now Jess with a dummy. Wants it back. Great play by Jess! The block by Pajot. What a superb goal that would have been. Well, the game still goes on, it's still in play. Here's Jess again. Caught there by Weghorst. He's gone down awkwardly. Tackling getting tougher because the Aberdeen players know that Jess is on the ground. Ball's out of play now. Well, some wonderful play from Jess here.
It's a magnificent. Look at the running off the ball by Ian Jess. Look at the control inside that box. Makes position for himself well, and good save by Michel Pajot. And that's just a fierce challenge, but I don't think, again, I think that Weghorst got the ball there, and whether or not Ian Jess has fallen awkwardly, but he certainly felt the impact of that one.
The landing, I think, did the damage for Ian Jess there. I think he'll recover on that all right. But he is showing such amazing confidence in the middle of the field. Constant threat to Dundee. Roy Aitken entitled to be pleased with this first half performance, don't you think, Billy?
Very much so. Aberdeen have been very much the most entertaining and enterprising side, but he really has control of mid. Aberdeen really have control of midfield, and they've carved out more than one or two chances and deservedly in the lead.
Well, it's half-time. Billy Dodds has given Aberdeen that crucial lead in 33 minutes after some marvellous play by Stuart McKinney and Stephen Glass. It's a half-time lead. They certainly deserve starting the match with a real enthusiasm and a great appetite for the match. Dundee, on the other hand, having to hold on as best they could, hoping that the match may turn their way as it unfolds later on. But at the moment, Aberdeen very much in the driving seat. They have the lead here by 1-0.
Yes, it's certainly been Aberdeen's half. Let's get the impressions of Gary McAllister and Willie Miller. Your thoughts on that first 45, Gary?
Well, I think the best team's winning. I think the main difference is that Aberdeen are showing more composure. They're showing their Premier League qualities, and they're getting the ball down well, and they're passing it well. And the fact that they've got 3v2 in the middle of the park, I think that's why they're winning the game.
Yeah, interesting tactics by Jim Duffy. Well, a high-risk policy, I think we could say.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Dougie. I didn't think that they would be as cavalier as what they have been in the first half. I mean, basically they're playing 4-2-4.
Yeah, it's a long time since we've seen that.
Well, it is a long time, and to be honest, Aberdeen's midfield is so strong that I don't think it's the right way to play. I did feel, and I did say before the game, in fact we all said, that we reckoned that perhaps Dundee would try to stifle the midfield, maybe even man-mark Ian Jess. Well, in fact what they've done is the opposite. They've put 2 men in there against Aberdeen's 3 midfield players, and really Aberdeen are controlling the midfield and really dominating it. Every time Dundee have an attack and it breaks down, Aberdeen are picking up and they're driving it to the back 4 of Dundee and causing them all sorts of problems.
Yeah. Did you get the impression, Gary, that there was a goal coming for Aberdeen the longer the game went on?
Yeah, because they were just starting to show a lot of clever little things on about the box. There was some nice little 2v1s, there was a few little takeovers, and they were just starting to show a little bit more imagination, and I felt the goal was going to come. And it didn't surprise me the way they got Stephen Glass into that area, which he's been managing to do the full game. But they've been able to do that because they've got the 3v2 and he's been able just to creep into that space.
Let's take a look at the goal then, which broke the deadlock. It came after just about 33 minutes. Down that area where the problems had been coming, as Gary says, Willie.
Yeah, I mean, there is shoes gaps down that area, and Stephen Glass was a very good game. Puts in a nice cross. Shearer misses it, but dodges following up and finishes it. Perhaps the goalkeeper is a bit unlucky. It does take a deflection, but again, breaking from midfield, because they've got the extra man in midfield, causing all sorts of problems, but full credit to Dodge, following up to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, good striker's goal. He'll be pleased with that. Strikers like to get those tap-ins.
It's been a good tournament so far for Billy Dodds, actually. He's scored in, I think, every round but one, and again he's in the right place at the right time. But clearly I think Jim Duffy's going to have to do some serious thinking at half-time, Gary, because his system isn't working, frankly.
Yeah, I think he can maybe they could help by maybe tucking Paul Tosh in a little bit and making it 3v3 in the middle of the park. Paul Tosh going in and picking Stephen Glass up. Yeah. But where they're struggling a wee bit is, you know, they're getting behind the ball very well and defending well, but when they're winning it back, they're just giving it straight back to Aberdeen. They've got to maybe try and get a few passes and play out for the back. Yeah,
Ian Jess has been outstanding again though, Willie, hasn't he? He really is calling the shots for Aberdeen.
Yeah, he's been very commanding in there, but I don't think we should bypass Stephen Glass either. I think he's had an excellent game too, ably backed up by Paul Bernard, but that has been the engine room. That's been the difference between the two teams, and I would agree. I think Jim Duffy's got to do something in terms of matching up Aberdeen's midfield 3, because if he doesn't, then I can see Aberdeen getting more goals. And although personally I would like to see Aberdeen win, and you don't want to see it being a rout, because it is a cavalier formation that he's put out there, and he deserves credit for that, but I think there's got to be a wee bit of sense as well.
Yeah. Joe Miller was at his frustrating best, or maybe that should be frustrating worst early on. Lovely bit of skill and then a terrible cross, and then he might well have made it 2 just before half-time, mightn't he?
Yeah, he turns the defender very well there, and what's called for there is a bit of composure. He actually probably has time maybe to get it onto his right foot, but he should be hitting the target at least with his left foot. Just kind of lashes out at it, but really should have done better.
Yeah, a little bit of a snatch really, Gary.
Yeah, he could maybe have went to try and pass the ball into the net rather than go for the left foot lash.
From Dundee's point of view, they really haven't had a chance to bring in the players that might cause a problem, the McCanns, the Hamiltons, the George Shaws. They really haven't seen very much of the ball.
The only time they've looked threatening is from a set piece, you know, because they've got some big lads, and that's when they've looked most dangerous. You know, if they can maybe win a few corners and maybe get into these areas here high up the pitch and some long throw-ins in there. That's the only way. At the moment, that's the only problems they're causing Aberdeen.
OK, well, we'll be back, of course, for live coverage of the second half very shortly, but let's just remind you that a little more than a month from now, Sports Scene will be reviewing the Scottish Sporting Year. As always, that programme going out on New Year's Day. As always, we'd like your votes for who you reckon to be the Scottish sporting personality of 1995. Here are just a few suggestions to help you make your choice.
Great putt.
Comes away to take maximum points for Great Britain. A splendid win.
maximum in Crucible history.
Cleland is attacking now. Nope. Cleland takes Burt and Sugden in fifth position. Fantastic. And David Coulthard is now entering the last corner within sight of the checkered flag, which he sees now brilliantly to win his first Grand Prix.
So those just a few of the possibilities. You don't have to choose one of those names you've seen, but send us your idea of the personality of the year, please, on a postcard or sealed in envelope, and address it to us at Sports Scene 95, BBC Scotland, Queen Margaret Drive, Glasgow G12 8DG, and get those into us just as soon as you can, please. Closing date the 16th of December. That's for the Sports Scene Personality of the Year 1995. So the first half has had gone Aberdeen's way. What will Jim Duffy be saying just now? And that midfield area is the main problem, surely, but is that the only area that he might be concerned about, will he?
I think that's where he's got to make his mind up, yeah, whether he's prepared at this stage of the game to make the change and perhaps bring on Flanningham and sacrifice one of his forefront players, is what he's really got, and go more a 4-3-3 formation. It still gives him plenty of attacking options with three up front, and it would certainly match Aberdeen's midfield, and I feel it would give them more of a chance to get back into the game if he did do something like that.
We can see a great save by Michel Pajot just before half-time as well, Gary, when he and Jess might very well have made it 2-0 as well.
That's a clever bit of play here, little step over, goes into the box, shows a great bit of skill there and gets his quick feet to get his shot in, but a great save from the keeper, very instinctive save. That's a nice bit of play here though. He could maybe have went for a strike there, but nice tidy feet, clever, gets a snapshot away there. He's unlucky not to score, but a good save.
Yeah, it was. In fact, Pajot, as you said, was perhaps unlucky with the goal and did very well there for Dundee. There was one very curious booking. Dusan Virtu was booked, which I think we're going to see in a moment, Willie. How did you see that one? It was a strange decision.
It was a very strange decision because, to be frankly, I didn't think he'd done anything wrong at all. In fact, I felt that it was perhaps the Aberdeen player that had fouled him on the second occasion. Now, why he got booked, I don't know. We can only assume that perhaps he said something to the referee. I can only think that's the only reason.
Well, let's take a look at it, because it almost, as you say, looked as if it was actually Stephen Glass who had committed the foul, but might have been a bit of speech play perhaps involved here, but here it is again.
I think it's quite a late challenge from Stephen Glass, and to me, it's Virto that's got the foul against him, but the referee actually takes him back and books him. Now, the only thing that I can think of is he said something, because it is a late challenge, and really it's the Aberdeen player that's the offending player on this occasion. But the referee seems to book the Dundee player for some reason.
You can't really blame Virto, Gary, I don't think, can you?
Well, maybe the referee's seen it a little bit differently. Maybe he thinks he's play acting. So he did get back up and get back into the box. So maybe the ref had a better view than what the camera shows there, and Stephen Glass didn't actually catch him.
Yeah, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But over the piece, it has been quite a sporting game. There's been no bad tackles in it, really, that I've seen, is there?
As we said before the game, it was going to be an open game, and it is. It's a big open game. It's like a big five-a-side, really. It's like a big training match. You know, there's no teams are squeezing up, and there's loads of space. It is like a big five-a-side.
That's right. How do you feel about Jim Duffy's choice to play virtually a 4-2-4? I mean, it's brave to say the least, isn't it? Is it reckless?
Well, up to the moment it is. I would have thought it was, yeah, because the fact is that Aberdeen are just getting so much possession because of it. The back four of Aberdeen are playing it into the midfield, and they're using that 3v2 advantage very well.
All right, well, let's see whether Jim Duffy does make any changes in the second half. Aberdeen leading by 1-0. Let's enjoy the second 45 of this Coca-Cola Cup final and rejoin Billy McNeill and Jock Brown.
Thank you, Dougie. I can confirm the same 22 players who left the field at half-time have reappeared for the second half, so any temptation on the part of Jim Duffy to bring on Ray Faringham, as was suggested by Willie Miller, has not happened at this stage at any rate. So it will be very interesting to see, Billy, what change may be made tactically.
Well, I think if he's going to try and adopt the same open system, he's really got to get the front two to do a bit of backtracking, because they've really got to start looking after, they're playing against the two centre-backs, but one of them has got to go and try and prevent Stuart McKimmie from joining in with Aberdeen's attacking play. They've got to maybe just play that little bit deeper. I confess to being just a little bit surprised that he hasn't tightened up his midfield area.
And we're all surprised the referee's not yet appeared. That's why the players are still waiting. So that's his little room there. Willie Young, the fourth official, having a chat with the referee in there, perhaps telling him that the players are out there waiting for him. So the referee has now emerged. David Thompson, the league official there, and also making sure everything is carried out properly. And the customary welcome for the referee. Stuart McKimmie in an excellent first half, holder of 36 Scotland caps, and it's not difficult to see why in the evidence of that first half performance. Playing against his hand a little on the left hand side. So the dark mist descending around the National Stadium at Hampden Park as the second half of the Coca-Cola Cup final is about to start. So Dundee set us off, and they have to retrieve a one-goal deficit. The goal scored by Billy Dodds, a real opportunist effort in 33 minutes. That's what separates the sides, although also in that first half there did appear to be a little bit of a gulf in class, and Dundee have to bridge that if they're to come back into the match. So Joe Miller started the second half wide on the right-hand side. So Aberdeen ringing the tactical changes in that sense. Here's Stephen Glass on the left, an excellent first half. Oh, great sleight of foot there. Duncan Shearer, 2-0 to Aberdeen. And once again, the creator was 19-year-old Stephen Glass. Magnificent goal. Aberdeen. It's a real peach of a pass, a good bit of play from Aberdeen to begin with, and a piece of pass swinging out from the goalkeeper, and the timing of Duncan Shearer is perfection, because he meets it right in the meat of his forehead, and it's never going to go anywhere but the back of the net. Magnificent strike. Michel Pajot, no answer at all to this. Now you'll see the Dundee defender there, Neil Duffy and Tommy McQueen challenged, and Tommy McQueen has not yet got up, but Duncan Shearer smiles there, the smile of a man who I think we may realise he's won a cup medal. The player on the ground, in fact, is Jim Duffy, who's going, oh, that's very unfortunate there for Dundee. I'm all right he says. Well, he's indestructible. He's established that already in his career. 2.5 years he lost with a serious knee injury.
It's magnificent play, and he shows the ball to the defender, takes him on, and what a magnificent left-footed cross he puts in there, coming away from the goalkeeper, and as I say, 10 to perfection with Duncan Shearer, and that's Duncan Shearer at his best.
So Mountain for Dundee to climb. There's Jim Duffy, having made that recovery from the head knock he sustained as Duncan Shearer made that cross his own. Very few players in the country better up front at attacking a cross, an outswinging cross like that, than Duncan Shearer.
That's right. If you can get good possession down the other side, you get good service into the box. Duncan Shearer's got a tremendous record inside that area, and that one there was a real good striker's goal.
Here's Glass again. Can't get on the ball enough, I don't think, at this stage. Well, Stephen Glass, the creator of the first goal, the creator of the second goal, has shown a full range of skills and abilities. What do you think of him?
Oh, I think he's one of the most exciting young players we've had in the country for a long time. Lovely left foot, but in fairness, I think the tactical knowledge that Roy Aitken has shown has been excellent, because he's overloaded where it suited him, and he's given his creative players the right to go and express themselves.
Duncan Shearer is the name being chanted by Aberdeen supporters. The break of the ball falls kindly for Bernard. Miller now, space in the right, supported by Grant. Jim Duffy's header, he's made a full recovery. It's important to Dundee. Jess showing his confidence in possession there. That's great interplay there. Aberdeen brimful of confidence now right throughout the ranks. And Shearer couldn't quite get on the end of that pass from Stuart McKimmie. Well, the evidence of the play so far, the opening 49 minutes, impossible really to see how Dundee can turn this around, Billy.
Well, what they've really got to try and do, they've got to try and get to grips with the midfield first of all, because if they don't get any possession in there, they're not going to have any chance of getting anything back. And you know, I think it's been nice to be open, it's nice to play attacking football, but really they're getting slaughtered midfield, and they're going to have to alter the system, bring someone off the bench to go and try and tighten up there and deny Aberdeen possession in that area.
Well, they certainly have options available on the bench. They have a striker in Jerry Britton. They also have Ray Farningham and Ian Anderson. No replacement goalkeeper. Here's Beekhorst. Shaw. Neil Duffy. Losing out there to Smith. Neil Duffy's lost a shin pad there. Here's Tommy McQueen. Muscled all the way by Dodds. A very good servant to Aberdeen. Spell there. This is Joe Miller. Back now with Grant. Missed by Duffy. There's Dodds. And the volley came from Ian Jess. Well, Dundee a little bit at odds in defence there. Finding life very tough indeed at the moment.
Well, Aberdeen have got so much control at the minute that their midfield players are able to push up at will to support the front players, and really chances are coming all the time, and they're confident. Obviously they've got a 2-goal lead, they're playing well and they're enjoying things, but there's been a lovely bit of freshness about them all through the game.
Smith's header cut off there by Beekhorst. Bernard's pass aimed for Dodds. And Roy Aitken not pleased with Paul Bernard. He's on the track there, giving him a real volley. So 2-goal lead not enough for Roy Aitken. He knows that cup ties and cup finals in particular can turn around very, very swiftly, and it would only take one lapse in defence by Aberdeen to give Dundee some optimism again. Roy Aitken knows that. The third goal is the one which really would be the killer. Here's Jess setting off, looking for just that. Beautiful pass. Shearer is onside. That's for Dodds. Great interception by Duffy. Fine play by Jim Duffy.
Tremendous ball from Duncan, but you know, Billy Dodds just didn't quite go across the front of the defender. Otherwise, he might have been picking another one out the net there. But it's just typical. Aberdeen are getting so much room in midfield. They're picking out the front players, and they're sending some really good, exciting balls into that box.
A happy occasion for these Aberdeen supporters. May 1990, the last time they were here to pick up a trophy. Glass with the out-swinging cross. And this is Bernard. Well, that troubled Michel Pajot. The ball seemed to be moving in the air. The keeper did well.
Again, they're a little bit 60s and 70s. They don't quite clear the ball positively. Now, Paul Bernard, I think he's really trying to play that across the front of the goal, but still always a threat.
Here's Jess. Careless one. Here's McCann. Showing a lot of determination there, McCann. McQueen looking for Shaw. Ingles sure to win that particular joust with his aerial advantage. This is McKimmie. Good tackle by Jim Duffy. Jess to Bernard. There's no one on the right hand side. That's towards Shearer. Verto comes in. Well, Jim Hamilton, 19-year-old, on whom a great deal is resting. Will cause some problems for Aberdeen. Not able to make much of Ingles and Smith so far. That's good play by Grant. Bernard's return pass. Oh, a clumsy touch there in the build-up. Well, Brian Grant showing his comfort going into midfield. That's where he spent the bulk of his career at Pittodrie. Jess couldn't get that beyond Neil Duffy. Here's Hamilton. McCann's ahead of him, he's offside. It was very close indeed. Orchestration again for Dundee, nothing going their way. Explaining himself to John McCormick on the touchline. McCann. Shearer to Bernard. This is Miller, that's good control in the first touch. And another header this time from Shearer. Well, they carry menace now with every attack.
It's a good ball into the middle from Joe Miller. And one of the problems that the Dundee are now experiencing is that the two central defenders are always committed. So just a yard of space inside that box gives a forward the opportunity for a try at goal. And Donkey Shearer inside that box is always dangerous.
Well, the pace at which Aberdeen attack also very important, and I wonder if there's any justification for two markers and a sweeper and a flooded midfield of 5 against this Aberdeen dominance.
They've certainly, if they've got to get something back in the game, they've certainly got to get a grip of midfield. At the minute, Aberdeen are making it play almost at will. And until Dundee get a grip of that midfield, there's no sense in talking about good front players because they can't get any service into them.
Headed away by Smith. Joe Miller took his eye off the ball to see exactly where Brian Grant was, I think. Another throw to Dundee. There's Tommy McQueen. It's Ingles. Decorst. Simple task for Watt. There's been no real suggestion of penetration through the middle at all by Dundee in the match.
No, that's right. They've got two eager front players, but they're just not getting a supply of the ball at all. And you've got a young, exciting lad like Neil McCann out this side here, but they don't have the service to give him any chance.
A strong play by Duffy. Matched so well there by McKimmie. This calm play by Watt. Aberdeen working that out of the danger area. First real glimpse of going through there for Neil Duffy. Now Duncan Shearer. And a clash there with Dusan Virto. The decision is a free kick to Aberdeen.
It didn't seem an awful lot in it there. Just two players clashed, and the referee's got to make up his mind which way the foul goes.
This is McCann. Surrounded there by Aberdeen players, including Billy Dodds. McCann against Ingles. Ingles is very quick. Well, the pace of Ingles and Smith, a big asset in defence for Aberdeen. Good turn by Hamilton. Virto under pressure from Dodds. Here's Miller. Kimmy again taking up good position on the left, finding space all afternoon. Here's Glass. Forced down well this time by Virto. Tosh. Throw, I think, has been given to Aberdeen. But if the sliding on with that, Tosh and McKimmie colliding. Glass looking for a runner across the box there. Shearer a little bit late in starting out. Michel Peugeot from Valenciennes last season, goalkeeper. Starting an attack with one of those huge kickouts. Virto to Tosh. Well, the feature so far in the fact that Tosh and McCann had to take possession so deep. Michael Watt getting out ahead of George Shaw. They haven't been able to do the good work in forward areas, have they, Billy?
No, they haven't. I think that what's happened is Aberdeen's play has exposed them to having to work back to help their midfield, and really they've been overworked. And as I say, Dundee have never had enough possession of the ball to introduce them into more positive positions, and it's perhaps unlucky, but you know, Aberdeen have played so well and they've looked so good.
So back it goes from Gary Smith to Michael Watt. It's closed down very rapidly there by Jim Hamilton. There is activity on the bench below us, which is Dundee are going to make a change. Number 7 bore in the hands of the fourth official, Willie Young, suggesting that George Shaw's involvement may end shortly. Bernard's header. Good pass from Duffy. That's McQueen. Hamilton. Beekhorst. Well, now the fourth official has put down the number 7 and picked up a number 9. That's ominous for Paul Tosh now. Perhaps that's part of the tactics of the bench to keep them all on their toes. Here's Joe Miller. Duffy's header, giving Bernard a chance to win it back. Here's Jess. Oh, you see him steadying himself there for the shot at goal. Difficult chance, but one which he obviously relished. Well, the National Stadium with the south stand there on the left. Very familiar landmark in Glasgow, but soon to be demolished and replaced by a 1995 6-7 version. Paul Tosh now being withdrawn. Replacement is Jerry Britton. Well, now that is interesting because Britton's an out-and-out striker. So is Hamilton. George Shaw, I think, is being asked to go wide right. So it doesn't seem to change the pattern very much. So no real tactical influence there. Dodds very determined in losing out in the end to Britain. What do you make of that change, Billy?
Well, it doesn't really change anything. It changes personnel and, you know, moves one player out of the way. But it takes a little bit of pace away from down that right-hand side. If anything, you know, Paul Tosh has got the ability to make those long runs. George Shaw, although he's sharp, I wouldn't say he's the same type of positive pace that Paul Tosh has. And really, it's just juggling the pack a little bit. And I thought that really what Jim needs at this stage is a real change of system.
Here's George Shaw in his new role. Certainly very clever, tricky player. That's a good pass forward. Grant is there with Duffy. That's excellent defending by Brian Grant. Absolutely outstanding, experienced play. Neil Duffy penalised for holding on to him there when he realised the ball was lost. But no rush to lash the ball out of play either by Grant. It really was very good defending indeed.
It was a good pass from George Shaw because this is Neil Duffy at his best. He's good at breaking forward from midfield, but certainly good defending. He doesn't allow himself to get involved in any tussle for the ball. He just holds his man off and takes the whole thing calmly.
Well, there's Murton setting one or two of the spectators, but he'll be accustomed to that in refereeing terms in Scotland. Very normal. Smith prevented the corner. Well, Dundee enjoying a little bit more success territorially without yet creating too many chances, but here's Dusan Verto. Beekhorst the target. Beekhorst did well. That's Verto. Good ball in. Queen's header. There's George Shaw. He wants it back. McKimmy's in the way, and now the break is on for Aberdeen. The counter-attack. Jess looking up to see where Joe Miller is. And what a magnificent pass. Well, another aspect of the Jess play, the vision he was able to demonstrate there. Quite remarkable. Billy Dodd's not happy with Joe Miller. But for Jess, really, another example of his outstanding midfield play.
Yeah, Jess knew exactly what he wanted there. He turned back on himself, got it on his right foot. Great pass to Joe Miller, but unfortunately Joe's not able to pick out Billy Dodds at the back post.
Jerry Britton offside. Ian Jess really demonstrating a full range of skills. Great footwork, good passing, plenty of movement. He's even prepared to match runs and make tackles. Shearer penalised for backing into Manley. Shaw to Manley. There's Burton. Now Duffy. Composure. Confidence. McQueen. Hamilton's layoff. Britain doing a little bit of wandering to try and get involved in the play. That's for McCann to chase. Can he deliver the cross? Carried over for the goal kick. Very, very good. Full tilt there, Neil McCann, trying to reach the ball in time to pull it back. The man whose outstanding goal finished off Airdrie in the semi-final. Aberdeen. A chance as McCann comes forward again. That's for Hamilton. Well, a little bit of desperation there in that attempt. Jerry Britton was going outside him looking for a pass. So the 19-year-old out of luck. Dundee battled their way through here. A 6-0 victory against East Stirling, in which Neil McCann scored 4 times, followed by a victory at Densburg against Kilmarnock, then against Hearts 4-4 after extra time and a penalty shootout, and then the win against Airdrie in the semi-final. It's all coming to grief now. So the midway point in the second half, and Dundee badly looking for an injection of some kind of inspiration to put them back in this final. Here we go, lead one quickly. Set up a grandstand finish. Meanwhile, Aberdeen are looking for the settling goal. And Joe Miller almost delivered. Superb shot that by Joe Miller, his stronger side, the right.
Magnificent shot by Joe. He sizes up the whole situation. Sends a tremendous shot into goal, and really is it perhaps just a little bit unfortunate that it didn't hit the target.
So, more activity on the Dundee bench. It looks as though a tactical alteration in terms of formation, which has been mentioned frequently, may be about to be delivered. Jim Hamilton's chip there, allowing Aberdeen to tidy up comfortably in defence. McKimmie showing his class again. This is Shearer. Now Grant. Jess in possession. It's McKimmie. Tough exchange there, Bernard and Neil Duffy. It's Dundee in possession. Here comes Shaw. Britton outside him, taking on Gary Smith. Britton with the early cross, looking there for Manley. Oh, it's good play by McCann. They'll go for a call unless Michael Watt can do something about it, which he does. Under pressure there from Hamilton. Well, Neil McCann may have offered his last contribution to the play. He's carrying an injury. He's going to go off, I think.
Does very well here. Good turn. Goes straight at his opponents, and really it's the first little bit of inventiveness we've seen from Dundee in and around that box, but it's just an indication that they have the ability to threaten opposing defences if they get enough of the ball.
Ian Anderson had a glimpse of there. 18-year-old about to come on for Dundee to replace McCann, I think. Here's McKimmie driving forward again. Shearer's offside. Missed the target in any event. I'm sure he knew the whistle had gone. The substitution will be made now by Dundee after this.
The space that Aberdeen got in, Duncan Shearer just goes a half a yard earlier, otherwise that might have been 3.
Anderson has replaced McCann. It's a blow to Dundee to lose Neil McCann, who had shown some good little glimpses of his ability. But Anderson's going into that position vacated by McCann, wide on the left, so there's still no change in the tactical setup. Here's George Shaw. Alvie Cost. Britton. That's a good effort. Good save by Michael Watt, but Jerry Britton certainly has an eye for goal.
Jerry has got an eye for goal. It's a good turn, and not his best foot, but tremendous shot, but good alertness and good save for the goalkeeper.
Ian Anderson's corner kick. Every Aberdeen player back inside the box to defend. That gave Duffy time to pick out Tommy McQueen. Duffy's headed his possession back to Aberdeen. Well, things still not going Dundee's way. Roy Aitken not being too pleased at the moment because Aberdeen have just dropped a gear.
They've certainly dropped the pace of the game, and that's suiting Dundee just at this particular minute, because they're not just as sharp, they're not just as lively as they were, and I think Roy's maybe just a little bit worried that a spot of complacency is setting in.
Well, he'll realise that one goal for Dundee now would set up a very tense finish to this final. He's anxious to avoid that, I'm sure. Good strong tackle by Grant. Dundee's throw again. Well, you can sense a little bit of hope going through the Dundee ranks right now. There's Anderson. Well, tackled by Jess, but a corner kick's been given, and Dundee have looked dangerous in these set pieces. So, could be a problem. A short corner taken. There's Tommy McQueen. Well cut down by Dodds. There's Anderson. Well, a half chance there. Perhaps hasn't been on long enough to get his timing on. But Aberdeen suddenly just looking as though they've lost it a bit.
Well, that's right. You get the feeling that if anything's going to happen for Dundee, it's going to happen from a set piece. And I think that Roy Aitken understandably is concerned about the ways his team have let the pace of the game drop.
Clearance by McQueen, that's Grant. Here's Miller. Here to be fouled by Vickers, was he? No, says the referee. One back by Ingles. Ingles going in late on McQueen, who hurdled him there. The attendance, incidentally, confirmed that 33,096. So just a few tickets lost in the postal strike, I think. All your needs should be recorded, I suppose, but close to capacity and generating a splendid atmosphere. Corner kick accepted there by Jim Hamilton. Well, Aberdeen suddenly look vulnerable. I'll tell you what, would have some game if Dundee could get one back. And it's George Shaw with the corner. And his header. They attacked it well. Needed someone coming in that post to finish it off, really.
It's a long ball struck at that back post. Buddy man, he gets up well, but you definitely need someone coming in to attack that ball there. But it'd be interesting if Dundee could get something at this late stage in the game.
Well, the final which looked to be totally won and lost just 10-15 minutes ago doesn't look quite so secure for Aberdeen now. And once they've dropped their performance, it's very hard to pick it up again. Miller to Grant. Another casual ball in and possession back with Dundee. A push by Ingles on Hamilton. And the free kick taken too far away from the correct spot. The referee will allow some indulgence, but that was just a little bit too much. Looking desperately for a little flash of individual brilliance, a little bit of inspiration. A quarter of an hour remaining, could put them back in this match. Aberdeen break again with Bernard. It's asking a great deal of Joe Miller. He did well to keep that in play. Good snapping tackle by McQueen. He thought the last touch came off Miller. I think he may have a case, but the throw goes to Aberdeen. Joe Miller reacting well there again. Cross running goes on now for Aberdeen, and Dodds takes possession. Bernard has Brian Grant behind. Ingles did well. Here's Weghorst. Closed down quickly by Bernard. This is Ingles. Jess has found space again. Nothing happening on the left. Looks to go right. And Kime to Jess. Didn't realise Britton was there, but he has it back now thanks to Duncan Shearer. Here's Grant. Two slack passes creeping into the Aberdeen play in the last quarter of an hour or so. Roy Aitken's not happy about that. And Aberdeen do appear to be content to take a sting out of the play now. They did look much more convincing when they were playing at full tilt. Shaw closed down rapidly by Glass. That burst of acceleration the young man has, such a benefit to his game. Manley's header gives possession back to Aberdeen. That's Miller. Well, Dodds on his heels. Anderson did well to hold off Grant. Good interception by Ingles. This is Jess. Very well tackled by Verto. Smith to Bernard. Miller against McQueen once again. A failed tussle in the second half. There's Dodds. Never quite balanced for the shot at goal. Now there is some activity on the Aberdeen bench. They're going to make a change. A little injection of new energy called upon by Roy Aitken. Hugh Robertson, I think, is the player coming on. Instructions there for Hugh Robertson from Roy Aitken. Appearance there by Pajot. Well, Aberdeen may well have weathered a difficult spell in the match. And the change about to be made by Aberdeen, number 7, is Joe Miller, who has shown some not surprising signs of tiredness in the last few minutes. He's been such a magnificent contributor to the Aberdeen performance this afternoon, Miller. And that's why he's getting such a round of applause as he leaves the field. It really has been an outstanding performance, Billy.
He's had a superb match, particularly in that first half, you know, when he played mainly down the left-hand side, because that carried the real threat for Aberdeen. And yes, Joe can be very happy with his contribution in this game.
Now, Hugh Robertson's a left-sided player, so there's going to have to be some tinkering with the system, perhaps. Moving the midfield across, I think. Bernard to the right, Jess to the right of centre. Glass also moving in. And Robertson's taken up position wide on the left-hand side. That is most comfortable, 20-year-old. Handball indicated there by the referee. Clearance there from Michel Pajot. Les Mortram explains to Billy Dodds why he's given that. Here's Weghorst. Turning away from Bernard. Faced now by Jess. Here's Anderson. Careless one. Robertson's first involvement in the play. Powerful runner on the left-hand side. He's still in possession. Dodds and sheer weight in the middle. Whipped across, but much too close to Pajot. Disappointment for the front two. They weren't happy about that. Well, Hugh Robertson has played, or started 12 matches in the Aberdeen first team. He started the first 4 of last season, then injury affected him throughout the rest of the campaign. But he has now appeared on the bench recently, and he's back in business again in the final. There's Ian Jess spinning off his marker. Dodds is offside. So there is further activity down below. It looks as though Ray Farningham will come on for Dundee. Final substitute. Played long again by Pajot. Britton puts pressure on McKimmie. Gets the break of the ball. There's George Shaw outside him. Well blocked by McKimmie. There's Weghorst. Tackled well by Robertson. Shaw. Manley. Anderson. Here's Manley again. What's too long on the ball though. Dodd steals it from him. This is Brian Grant. Now Dodds. Grant stepping away from Britain. Ingles switches the point of the build-up for Aberdeen to the left. McKimmie. Tackle on the rear by Manley on Shearer. An obvious foul for the referee, who was about 5 yards away. So the change to be made by Dundee. Dusan Berto is coming off. Furthest away player too, so it'll take even longer to get him away. To be fair to him, he's sprinting across now. The replacement is Ray Farningham, and that really is another like-for-like position. It's not much changing the pattern, Billy.
Yes, I think Jim has decided that his system that he started was the one he's going to finish with. Perhaps he's a little bit of tiredness in Aberdeen. They've had so much possession, and he thinks that maybe, just maybe, if they get something back, they could make it a real interesting and exciting last few minutes.
Here's Stephen Glass trying to ensure that doesn't happen. McKimmie looking for Shearer. Tracked there by Duffy. Strong tackle by Duffy. The corner kick's been given. Duffy said it was deflected off Shearer. The referee doesn't agree. So Aberdeen going for the outswinger again with Stephen Glass. He really has made a big impact in this final. Towards Ingles, turned away by Britain. Well, the Aberdeen supporters now sense that victory is theirs. There was that little lull in the middle of the second half which caused some concern to them. That's good running from the throw, allowing Roberts to take possession. McKimmie. Glass. Britain did well. Farningham to Britain. That's Shaw, and now Weghorst. It's back with Manley. Here's Shaw. Good first touch. Ingles denies him the chance to get the ball across. It's back with Weghorst. Chance for Britain. Sums up Dundee's day. Started out his career with Celtic, didn't quite make the breakthrough, then moved to Partick Thistle. Now Michael Watt looks as though he may enjoy his third clean sheet of the season. In his 11th start. Robertson inside to Shearer. That's one for Dodd to chase. He started from an offside position now. So Aberdeen going to make another change, I think. Peter Heatherstone, I think, is the player who will come on. John Ingles with a header. Here's McQueen. Duffy forward. McQueen again. Aberdeen working hard defensively, though, making it difficult indeed to make real progress. Britain's turned well. Given no peace at all there by John Ingles. Couldn't set himself for the shot at goal. Change now. Ian Jess coming off to a terrific reception also. Replacement is Peter Heatherstone. Well, he left Wraith Rovers 18 months ago or so. Didn't feature on the side which won the Coca-Cola Cup last season. Missed out on that opportunity, then fought against relegation. I didn't expect that either. He's involved straight away. Dodds with a layoff. Duffy's header reaches McQueen. Now Glass. Very accurate. Duncan Shearer's header back inside. Awkward there for Hamilton. Britton steps in behind him. This is Hamilton again. It's a great pass. Anderson in behind Grant. A chance for Dundee. It's away from Michael Watt. Well, what a disappointment for Dundee. They had Ian Anderson breaking. Now Michael Watt, at one stage, looked as though he made a very rash sortie from his goal, but it did turn out to be effective.
It's a great opportunity, and I think the goalkeeper was a little bit impetuous, but young Anderson just overruns the ball and really never quite collects it positively there, but he just overruns. First touch wasn't good enough, but what a chance.
Well, the Coca-Cola man of the match is Stephen Glass, and it'd be very hard to argue with that. Created both the Aberdeen goals, and he's played superbly throughout the match. It's good running by Heatherstone. Good support play by Bernard. Trying to hang that up there, looking for Duncan Shearer to have a run at the far post, but put too much on the ball. Well, it's usual sign from Oldham a short time ago. Paul Bernard, he had major disappointment in the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United a couple of years back. And here he is on the brink. The first success in the competition. Hamilton. Here's Michael Watt. Well, have you detected a change in Michael Watt since he's become first choice, Billy?
Well, I think he's really enjoyed this game, and he seems an awful lot more confident, a lot more positive, but he really hasn't been tested in this game at all. But anything he's done with a little bit of composure and a lot of security.
That's a great pass by Billy Dodds. Here's Robertson. They're pouring into the box now. Pajot claims it. That would surely have ended it all. Glass and Shearer racing into the area together. Here's Weghorst. Shrugged aside very easily by John Ingalls. Here's Dodds. Under pressure there from McQueen. Free kick taken by McQueen. So just about into injury time now. Roy Aitken on the verge of his first success as a manager after the trials and tribulations he had to endure in the latter part of last season to keep Aberdeen in the Premier Division. Well, a huge success as a player. Only one League Cup winners' medal though as a Celtic player. Roy Aitken, loser with Aberdeen, strangely enough, 3 years ago. But now about to enjoy his first major success as a manager. Headed down by McQueen. This is Weghorst. Scarves waving and red and white colours all around the stadium. Well, what a sight that is. Well, just 6 months ago, that was very hard to imagine, Billy.
Yeah, it was a difficult season for them last season, and it's a long way back up the road to Aberdeen, but they'll enjoy themselves, and the way their team has played, they're entitled to do that. It's certainly been a cup final that's been noted for Aberdeen's good play.
So tidy defending again, completed by Michael Watt. And the Dundee supporters, sadly, have come here in hope, perhaps in some expectation. Their hopes dashed, though, by this Aberdeen performance, which has been totally convincing, apart from a little lull in the middle of the second half when they looked a bit complacent. There's Duncan Shearer. Well, a buzz of anticipation from the Aberdeen supporters when he sets himself like that. And referee Les Morton, I think, has brought the match to an end. Aberdeen have won the Coca-Cola Cup. Congratulations there offered to Roy Aitken. It really has been a terrific Aberdeen performance. They've won well, they've won deservedly. They've had the man of the match in Stephen Glass. The goal scorers with the strikers, Billy Dodds and Duncan Shearer. And the long trip down from the Granite City has proved to be completely worthwhile for these Aberdeen supporters. Billy Dodds again got a vital goal in 33 minutes. An opportunist effort after fine play by Stephen Glass. And then Duncan Shearer powered in a header in the first minute of the second half. And that made it impossible for Dundee to come back. It was a great header by Duncan Shearer. Attacked across from Glass superbly and left Pajot with no chance at all. So, moments to savour for the Aberdeen supporters. And rewards for all the efforts put in by Roy Aitken and Tommy Craig this season. It hasn't been easy by any means at all. The Dundee players going to their supporters and they're getting a good reception. That's good to see because they have contributed hugely to the whole competition and they battled all the way in this final. They're outgunned right from the start by a side with a little bit more quality, a little bit of extra pace, and Roy Aitken is now with his 11.
Roy, congratulations, you were almost relegated last season. He's too busy enjoying himself. Almost relegated last season, you're cup winners now. How do you react to that?
Well, it's a long way past the relegation. Obviously it's a major boost for the club. It's a rebuilding process going on. We want to win trophies. We've started today and we'll build again for the next one.
You've done it as a player, Roy. How much more satisfying is it as a boss?
Well, I think no matter what job you're in, whether you're a player or a boss of a football club, you want to be successful. Obviously this is the first trophy for me as a manager and I'm sure it won't be the last.
You're back in Europe. Chart the way forward for Aberdeen now.
It definitely is. There was incentive there for European football. Obviously I want to get myself higher in the league. There's league points at stake in the future, but we'll enjoy this cup tonight, don't worry.
In the end, was it a more comfortable victory than you perhaps anticipated?
Always felt if we played any football at all, we were a better side. But all credit to Jim Duffy and the way his team are organised, they made it hard for us. But I felt over the piece we were a dominant side in the game.
Very well done, thank you.
Thank you.
So a delighted Roy Aitken off again to give more interviews. There's the trophy waiting for Aberdeen eventually, but it'll be the runners-up who will go through first to take their medals, led by Neil Duffy, the cousin of the manager, the player manager Jim Duffy. So the long trek forward. Well, if you'd said to Dundee at the start of the season it'd be in this final, I'm sure they would have been delighted. But having got here, I'm sure they would have hoped to do a little better. But they met a side very much in the mood, very much on form, and could do nothing to turn the tide once Aberdeen took a grip in midfield in particular. So here's Neil Duffy coming up. Presentation by Mr. Gavin Darby, the president of the Northwest European Division of Coca-Cola. Peter Donald, the Scottish Football League secretary there also. And very good applause for Dundee. Jerry Britton goes through. Always solemn faces for the losers. And you can understand that only too well. Ray Farningham, who has had a long career, Forford, Dunfermline, Motherwell, Partick Thistle, and there's Neil McCann, who had to come off with an injury, Roddy Manley, and Morten Beekhorst, the Danish international, out of luck on this occasion. Next to come, the match referee, Les Mottram. No real problems in this match for the officials, Jerry Evans, and then Ross McCluskey. Fourth official is Willie Young, who was in charge at Hibs against Rangers yesterday. And the Aberdeen players are now authorised to come forward. Stuart McKimmie coming up for his third League Cup winners' medal. 33 years old, and I'm sure it tastes as sweet as ever. The Aberdeen supporters waiting to acclaim the lifting of the trophy here. The photographers crowding around. There's the inside, up the tunnel they go. And they will emerge again for the presentation platform used in its current form for the last time. Sir Gavin Darby waiting again, representing Coca-Cola, and a huge smile on the face of Stuart McKimmie. Aberdeen have won the Coca-Cola Cup. Terrific reception all around the stadium for Stuart McKimmie and his teammates. Duncan Shearer in the side because Scott Booth was injured, scored a splendid goal. Brian Grant joined the club from Stirling Albion for £50,000 11 years ago. The cup being passed down the line here, and every player being greeted by the Aberdeen supporters. Here's Michael Watt. Stephen Glass named man of the match. Hugh Robertson, the 20-year-old. Billy Dodds, the goal-scoring hero again. Ian Jess, who's contributed so much to Aberdeen this season. Gary Smith, who performs so comfortably at the back. Derek Stilley, the substitute goalkeeper. Peter Heatherstone takes the plinth. And Joe Miller carries the trophy down. He's done that before. He did it for Celtic in 1989 when he scored a winning goal against Rangers. And the Aberdeen players re-emerge for the photograph session. Joe Miller brings the trophy, decked in red and white ribbons. John Ingles' first major success, smiling to the stand there. So the team photographs being prepared here. A battery of photographers. Coca-Cola Cup winners 1995. The captain has the trophy again. Well, nothing like cup success to unite a squad of players. Well, they had a hard way through to win this too. They had some very tough matches to win. They had to win at Motherwell, they had to win at Falkirk, they had to win at Hampden against Rangers. And they also beat St Mirren at the start. Jim Duffy applauding his supporters as the Dundee players go round the west side of the ground. But Aberdeen now set off on their lap of honour. All the scars held aloft. The baseball caps are on. Well, moments which could scarcely have been dreamed about in the Granite City half a year ago. How quickly life changes in the world of football, Billy.
It certainly does, and it's nice to see a team come back from that type of difficulty last season. Roy has certainly galvanised this side, and they played so well today. They've played very well in this competition, but they played excellently today.
And the score of the second goal was Duncan Shearer.
Duncan, you said that you were running out for cup finals in your career, but you certainly made your mark in this one.
Absolutely delighted. There's always that in the back of your mind that you're not going to get a winner's medal. I'm delighted for everyone involved.
Your goal so early in the second half, it really did kill the game.
I think it did knock the stuffing out of them. Although, to be fair to them, they came back a little shade in the second half, but they couldn't get the killer punch, and we ran out with the winners.
You had so much possession early on.
It was good. We knew this little pitch was going to suit us, and unfortunately with Dundee, they let us play, and we took advantage of it.
And what do you make of this mob behind us?
Brilliant. They deserve it after what we put them through last year, and then we come out with a cup for them. So hopefully we'll go on to better things.
Well, the fans are delighted, so are we. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, Duncan Shearer is signing for £550,000. 1992. And earning his corn again for Aberdeen this afternoon. Came from Blackburn Rovers. And now the first goal scorer, Billy Dodds, is also with Hazel.
Billy, that opening goal, it seemed everybody missed it. It landed right in your lap.
Couldn't believe it, Hazel. I just chased in. Big Duncan just threw himself at it. Ball broke, I was there to tap in. Brilliant.
Well, it seems that relegation has followed you everywhere in your career, but it's starting to even up now.
That's right. It's about time I got some success. Got some in the semi-final, but this is top till. Absolutely brilliant.
Were you surprised how comfortable it was today?
I think Dundee froze a bit today, but we played well. We've got to give the boys credit. We got it down and past it, and that's brilliant.
Well, they're playing your song. It's congratulations. Cheers.
Thanks very much, Hazel. Cheers.
Some very happy faces, as you would expect, among these Aberdeen players. A lot of relief about this victory. It takes a lot of strain off after a long drought in terms of winning trophies. And the crowd at the next match at Pittodrie, I'm sure, will be a very healthy one indeed. So many smiling faces. Michael Watts for success, John Ingalls for success, Paul Bernard. Ian Jess managed to pick up a winner's medal in this competition in 1989 as a very young man. They're being asked to pose there for the photographs. Well, the North East Cup final held in Glasgow with marvellous atmosphere, and the captain of Aberdeen is Stuart McKimmie.
Stuart, you've got the cup in your hands. Did you think it was possible?
At the start of the campaign, no. But once we got a good victory against Rangers in the semi-final there, and we felt, well, we can beat Rangers, we can beat anybody.
It's been a quite incredible turnaround when you think of the tail end of last season for the club.
Yeah, that's right. We fought the relegation off last year, but this is what Aberdeen Football Club's about, winning trophies.
It's your 13th season at Pittodrie, and it's certainly proving lucky so far.
Yes, I'm delighted. It's been a while since I've had a winner's medal, and I'm sure there's more to come.
And to have done it as captain, of course, must be doubly special for you.
Absolutely, thrilled to bits.
Well, congratulations, Stuart.
Thanks very much.
Huge smile on the face of Stuart McKimmie. £90,000 he cost from Dundee, ironically. Quite remarkable value for money. Alec Ferguson was the manager at the time, and it really has been a terrific career at Pittodrie for McKimmie, his local hometown club. So the celebrations continue here for some time, but really it has been an outstanding Aberdeen performance. With that, I'll hand you back to Dougie Donnelly in the studio.
Thanks very much indeed, George. Yes, behind us here at Hampden, thousands and thousands of Aberdeen fans celebrating what in the end was really a very comfortable victory for the Dons. Let's get the thoughts of Willie Miller and Gary McAllister. On the day, perhaps Aberdeen got it more easy than they perhaps expected.
Yeah, I think so. I think that they dominated completely in midfield area, and that's really where it was won and lost. I don't for a minute imagine that they would have thought that they would have got it so easy and got so much room in the midfield area. They dominated and they took the game to Dundee, and that really was the important factor for me in a good Aberdeen victory.
Yeah. Was there an element perhaps of Dundee freezing on the occasion, Gary, do you think?
Possibly. I think what Aberdeen did very well was they showed their Premier League qualities, and in the end they just had too much quality, and that's basically why they won the game so easily in the end. Dundee have worked very hard, but just couldn't manage to produce anything to worry Aberdeen at all the full game.
Yes, in the end they didn't really pose very much of a threat at any time, and of course the second goal coming when it did, Willie, was a real killer. I mean, the second half was only a minute old or so, wasn't it?
That's right. I mean, it's two good goals at two very important times, really, you know, just in the build up to half time, and then, you know, just when you come out for the second half. So I mean, it's a great goal, but Shearer does this all the time, and we were speaking before the game, and if you get the ball into the box, quality crosses like that one from Stephen Glass, Shearer's always going to be a threat, and it's a superb header into the corner. But young Stephen Glass, magnificent game, creates the two goals. He's played so well so far this season, carrying on the good work for last season. Fantastic ball, and Shearer just thrives on that type of cross.
I think it actually came off his left ear, Gary, didn't it?
Yeah, he jumped in between two defenders. But these guys have got an art. You know, he's a striker who's scored goals throughout his career, and he just seems to be in the right place at the right time and manages to put the ball in with any part of his body.
That's right. And of course he's played an important part for Scotland on more than one occasion. That will give Duncan a lift as well in terms of getting back into the Aberdeen side and maybe winning back his international place.
That's right. You know, the more quality players we've got involved in that Scotland squad, the better.
What do you think it means to Aberdeen and those celebrating fans behind us, Willie? I mean, you've won many cups for them in the past. What does this win mean?
Well, it means a lot. It was a very difficult season last season. You know, we did all right in the cup competition, the Coca-Cola Cup, getting to the semi-final, but the league was very disappointing. So it's a big lift for them. They got right behind the team towards the end of the season, which really, that's what their job is, to get behind the team. They've got behind them today, they've stuck with them through the problems of last season into today, and they deserve a lot of praise. They've come down in numbers, and there's a lot back in Aberdeen supporting them who couldn't get tickets for today's game. So, you know, the fans have played their part as well.
Absolutely. And Duncan Shearer had another terrific header, Gary, not long after the goal, which might well have really wrapped it up at 3-0.
Yeah, it's build up here to get out to Joe. Good ball, and it's just behind him, and that's why he just can't get his head round the ball to get it on target. just a wee bit unlucky it fell behind him there.
Yeah, he does carry this enormous threat in the air, Duncan Shearer, doesn't he? I mean, he's the kind of Mark Hateley figure, if you like, isn't he? Very hard to defend against.
He's very hard to defend against. I would say inside the box, really. You know, he definitely is a penalty box striker, and if you get anything into the box, whether it's a head, whether it's a foot, whether it's a ear, as we saw today, it doesn't really matter. He's a threat in the box.
Actually, it's difficult to find, as we mentioned earlier, Gary, Dundee coming close to scoring, but Jerry Britton did have a shot in the second half, which was perhaps as close as they came in the whole match.
Yeah, he picks the ball up and he's positive. It was one of the very few times that Dundee were positive. He picked it up and had a goal. You know, we just felt they had to try something like a long-range shot or get the ball in the box and get a few crosses in to try and upset Aberdeen, but unfortunately, just wasn't their day.
Yeah, but for them, obviously, the real challenge, I suppose, is to win promotion back out of the First Division.
Well, they can be very proud. Getting to a major cup final is a great achievement for a First Division club. Yes. So they can be very proud of their achievements this year so far.
All right. Let's take a look back at the opening goal then in this Coca-Cola Cup final, which came after just half an hour or so in the first half. And again, it was Stephen Glass who was adjudged rightly to be man of the match, really.
Yeah, I mean, a fantastic run forward again. Looked as though Shearer maybe could have got his head onto that, but Dodds following up and sticking the ball in the back of the net. We did say earlier that perhaps the goalkeeper was a bit unfortunate, but you know, the deflection just took it off his hands. But you've got to give credit to Dodds as well. He's following up. He's sniffing in the penalty box, as all good strikers have got to do, and he gets his just rewards by putting the ball in the back of the net.
Superman dive there, flying through the air.
And yet I suppose the great frustration for Aberdeen is they've won the Cup, but they're still 16 points behind in the Premier with a game in hand, admittedly. They've got to find consistency, Willie, haven't they?
Yeah, you've got to find consistency, and you know, Rangers haven't been playing particularly well this season, and probably Aberdeen did get Rangers at the right time. Rangers seem to be putting together a wee bit of form now. They're getting players back from injury. Rangers and Celtic have stretched ahead in the Premier League. I still feel that Roy Aitken at Aberdeen still got a bit of work to do. The pool is pretty tight. They don't have, you know, a great deal of quality in depth. They've got a lot of quality and about 13, 14 players, but then you get into the youngsters. So really it's introducing new players. Aberdeen got a bit of money to spend with the share issue. I'm sure Roy's been looking to go and strengthen the pool now.
I mean, playing down south, Gary, do you find that a lot of your fellow pros down there tend to look upon the Scottish League as being unhealthily dominated by Rangers?
No, they don't see it as being unhealthy at all. You know, I think most of the people down there think it's, you know, it's good that there's a good Rangers, but they also need the fact that Aberdeen and Celtic need to be going well as well. So that, because these three teams do create a lot of money in the Scottish game, you know, they generate a lot of money for the smaller clubs. But rather than just Rangers dominate, it'd be nice to see Aberdeen and Celtic competing. So that
and from what you've seen today, do you feel that Aberdeen can go on from here and perhaps close that gap at the top of the table, make another good showing in the Scottish Cup, perhaps?
Well, 1 through 11 today, there was a lot of good performances, and there was 3 or 4 outstanding performances, and they came from young players who have come through the ranks at Aberdeen. So it's looking good up there at the moment.
Okay, and last word from you, Willie. How important is it that Aberdeen hold on to the players like Ian Jess and Scott Booth and Stephen Glass?
It's very important. I mean, they've got to, really. You know, it's no use just winning the odd trophy here and there. You've really got to be putting pressure on Rangers. They've got to hold on to Glass, and they've got to hold on to Jess.
Okay, celebrations today up. Thanks indeed, Willie. Thanks to you, Gary. Nice to see you here. And so we come to the end of the 1995 Coca-Cola Cup final. That journey back north will certainly be a lot shorter for those Aberdeen fans. 2-0 winners over Dundee, and this Old South stand in which we're sitting has seen so many great matches over the years. It's seen its last cup final this afternoon. From all of us, goodbye.